When I run it, ain't no stopping on the rest. Downstairs hut, kick a punch, then I make them catch 5,000 ones in an hour. I'ma make it stretch. I just made a mess. I just made a mess. I got cash by the bundle, so I don't never press. I just made a mess. I just made a mess. 50-yard TD, window in the catch.
Spread between 4th and 6th Streets in downtown Minneapolis. We welcome you inside spacious U.S. Bank Stadium. The scene a short time ago. This crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with the Dallas Cowboys. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. Cook with a first down and much more. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
41 yards rushing for him now at his first 2 carries of the ballgame. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Cousins here on the bootleg. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 more there and another first down. So, Charles, defensively here, you're going up against a veteran quarterback. He's got a lot of know-how, a ton of savvy, but a guy who's not the most mobile of quarterbacks. What's the plan of attack?
You spend all week pumping up your defensive front. Your defensive tackles, your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys who go after the quarterback the most, because you know that he's not going to run and beat you consistently throughout the game. You can rush more aggressively off the edge and even up the middle, because even if he evades you, he's not going to go very far. You have a lot more confidence going after him in the pocket.
On 2nd and 10, Cousins. And a little floater there is incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here and 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
On 3rd down, Cousins escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. This Cowboy defense looked ready for that 3rd down pass. Brings up 4th.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. So Prescott of the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Throwing, Prescott. He'll get this to Elliott. 2 yards, good enough for a first. Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, is so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Cowboy first down. So, Charles, first drive here, little safe completion underneath. Maybe get some rhythm, get your feet wet, so to speak.
I agree, and I like it because it's a lot like a basketball game when you're getting started and you pass the ball around so everyone touches it early and gets involved in the game. In this case, it's not just dumping it to a back and he's able to run with the ball, but you get your offensive linemen involved because they get to get out and run and hit people in the open field. Everyone getting their feet wet early.
A false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Prescott. He'll get this out wide here to Elliott. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 11.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Ashton Davis. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-zip, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
They start the drive with Cook. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at their 48-yard line.
On play action, Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. An explosive 38-yard pickup. Every defensive staff harps on limiting explosive plays. Job not so well done there.
Yeah, they talk about it all the time. A lot harder to stop, though, isn't it? And when you think of an explosive play, most offensive staffs define them as passes of 20 or more yards and runs of 15 or more yards.
They went zooming past that number there. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
On 2nd down, it's Cook again. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play, so now they need 3 yards on 3rd down. That seemed to be linebacking 101 on how to diagnose and stop a run.
And what we're doing nowadays is we're taking those former safeties, those bigger guys, and making them linebackers to utilize their speed. He just made an absolute beeline after he diagnosed that play and ended up making a nice tackle on it.
Third and short yardage. Cousins rolling to his right. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And the Vikings are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Trying the power game with Ham. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield.
All day. Let's get it.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
3, Cowboys nothing.
Back at the 2 now. Here's second and goal. Cook. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. Extra point splits the uprights. And the lead grows to 10-0.
Cowboys nothing.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Now Pollard. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
First and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they, of course, coming into this one in the midst of a tough losing streak. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Brian Burns make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Nice play there by Brian Burns, chasing down a quarterback in the pocket. He had 16.5 sacks in his first 2 years in the league, including 9 in 2020.
On second down, Elliott. And he'll be hit and dropped for a loss at the 5-yard line. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's fourth down. Here's Brian Anger now. And no room for error here as his first punt comes from deep in his own end zone. So a short drop, but he's able to get it out, and this is a good kick. Take it at the 37. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A 55-yard punt that time with a return of about 14. And this offense will take over right at the midfield stripe with a 1st and 10. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And he's got room. The 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Dalvin Cook with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that makes our score 17-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first two drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
First down, Cowboys.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A give to Elliott. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
Tackled by Ashton Davis up from the secondary.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
5 yards remain on 2nd down.
Prescott from the gun. He finds his target. It's Schultz. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
A 1st down carry by Elliott. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Elliott. And once again, not much running room, if any at all.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Now Prescott. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Brian Burns in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive.
And you figure this should be a healthy, arrested, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. Throw for Westbrook, but it's intercepted.
Picked off by Anthony Brown.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Following the interception, here's Prescott.
Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted.
Picked off by Harrison Smith. Past the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now remember, this is the #1 defense in the National Football League. There's a good example of why.
It shows that they set an aggressive tone, not just stopping the run, not just getting after the quarterback, but the ball's in the air. They treat it like they're the receivers, and they went after that one and took it all the way.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
And Prescott, his 3rd interception. Picked off at the 35. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. This game really becoming a one-sided affair. Pick six there. It's in danger of being over before halftime.
And that's going to be a major league test for both of these teams because, look, you feel like you've got this thing locked up, right? But on the other side, in the other locker room, it's going to be a test of pride now. Forget speeches, forget adjustments. What kind of pride do they have to start the second half?
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now. And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front seven defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on third down. Looking to throw. Prescott. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Vikings will take over here first and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It was Jalen Smith who worked through to make that stop.
And that's what I'd like to see out of this defense, a little fire, a little toughness. It hasn't been the best first half for them, but they did do a nice job there forcing a loss on that play.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. 101 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. So we've reached halftime here on Halloween. And trust me, kids, if you had to look at Charles Davis every game, you'd think every day was Halloween. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. Now Pollard. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they have a mountainous deficit looming in front of them. It was really, Charles, a disaster of a first half. So where do they go from here?
Well, first thing they have to remember is that what's done is done and there's no going back. And now you have to play this drive by drive. Obviously, come back in this spot, pretty unlikely. But you still have to go out, take pride in your work, and try and put something together here in the second half.
From the 22, Prescott looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Schultz. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
It'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Just his 2nd catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains. On 1st down, Elliott breaks the tackle, now an alley. They find some open field here. And he is down deep into Minnesota territory. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
Well, you don't become a 2-time rushing champion in this league without being able to shed some tackles, and Ezekiel Elliott does just that on this latest run.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Prescott. Flushed out right. He finds his man, complete. That's Schultz. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? Well, we knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
When you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
On 2nd down, Elliott once more.
And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
A 3rd down now, and those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points.
Throw left side complete. That's Schultz. And he is not going to get to the marker as they stop him short at the 14. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. Zerline's kick is up and through. And now they'll just need 4 touchdowns as the deficit is now 28. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit 3rd quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Tackle there by Leighton Vander Esch. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
Here's Cousins. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let it go deep. Right sideline.
Oh, what a catch there by Thielen.
And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. A gain of 32 that time. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. Oh, an absolutely filthy juke. He's got some space now. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone.
126 yards rushing for him now as his big night continues.
1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. On the jet sweep, here comes Jefferson. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, gotta like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a first down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
Play fake. Cousins. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And the Vikings are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Cousins in step with Jefferson that time. 1st down, Vikings. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for 2nd down.
He kept it in his hands and tried to push it across the goal line himself, but the defensive front wouldn't allow him to do so, bringing up 2nd down and a bit farther.
On 2nd and goal, Cook waiting in the backfield all alone. He'll get it up the middle. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. Dalvin Cook taking it in from 4 yards out. And this Viking offense is running away with this one. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Ashton Davis. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops. For this defense, Charles, coming up with another interception. They have really done an excellent job of locking up these receivers.
Yeah, they're really on fire. They are actually doing what they talk about all the time, which is plastering to receivers when they're in their zones. They didn't give up a touchdown in the first half. Haven't done so here in this half either. Blanketed the field going all the way back to the opening drive, and they come up with a pick right there.
And he's got some space here. He'll get 15 and a Vikings 1st down.
First and 10 at the 24-yard line.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. On the carry, it's Cook. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up 2nd down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge. Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
He'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's only gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play, they were able to make the stop.
And you knew they were going to go to him to try to get that 4th.
And why wouldn't they? It's not just getting the 4th. He's the hot hand, so to speak, right? The hot feet in this situation. And he knows how to find the end zone. That time, he just didn't get there.
They'll run for it with Cook. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. The kick by Joseph is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there. And trailing big here in this 4th quarter. No running room for Zeke on 1st down as he'll maybe get a yard out of that. The tackle made there by Harrison Smith. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They go to Elliott again. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. To throw is Prescott. And now here's another interception. It's Cameron Dantzler who picks it. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the Cowboys' 29-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they look to salt this one away. 2nd down, they go right back to Cook. Might have gotten this one down to the 28, and that's all. Only a yard on the pickup, and now they've got a 3rd down and 8.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big, big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers, they're able to just roam and hit.
Now an end around as Cousins will just pop this forward. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Greg Joseph on for the field goal, a 45-yard attempt.
And
And this is not going to be anywhere close. No good, way wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive